era has its moments like that, but for me, I guess just because I was born in the 90s but wasn't a teenager in the 90s, I kind of always wanted to like really truly live it.
Real Talk. Today I'm sitting here with Charli XCX. Charli, hello.
Hey.
How are you doing today?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing pretty great.
Great.
So you just released 1999 with Troye Sivan. I read you.
And Troye and his boyfriend came to one, and 1999 ended up being that song.
So aside from being born in the 90s, like me, I guess, is there anything in particular about the 90s that you felt inspired to craft an ode about it?
Well, I mean, I think it's such a rich era for...
And you're also on tour with Taylor Swift right now. And you've opened for big acts before, but I feel like, is it safe to say this is probably your biggest tour experience?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think in terms of like pop stars, Taylor is definitely like one of the biggest, and you know, people get me and like know my songs, and her audiences are very receptive, so it's been really fun, and it's cool to be on tour with Camila too, because we've known each other for a while and have like written together in the past, and I like her a lot, so it feels really good.
Nice. I was reading that you were making a differentiation between how like on this tour you're playing the hits versus like the shows you've been doing for Pop 2 are very sort of club gigs. So I was wondering if you could speak a bit about that transition.
Sure. I mean, I guess when I'm opening for somebody like Taylor, venues are a lot smaller, the people are there to see me, and it's kind of, it feels like a house party or like a rave or something. It's like super sweaty, very intense. It's cool.
Nice. You got your start playing dirty raves, right?
Correct, yeah.
Because I read your parents took you to them?
Yeah, basically, I guess. Like, I didn't really know much about like party culture or like the LGBTQ scene or like underground music or fashion or anything, so. And
obviously your parents were supportive of this whole time of your music career, if they're taking you to this rave.
Yeah, totally. I've been really lucky with that. They've been super supportive, and it's like, I never really envisioned that would happen, you know?
Yeah, I bet. Was that weird for them that they talked about it with you?
You know what, we haven't really spoken about it. I think they were just really proud. So I think they were sort of less focused on like what was going on around them and more like focused on like, wow, like our kids performing, like, you know, I think that's probably where they were at.
And how is it now? I guess like you're on like the biggest tour in the world right now. I guess, are you surprised you would reach this level? Like, you know, the different types of artists there are, and you know, the different type of artists I can become, and so you're somebody that takes time to look through your DMs, reads the comments.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm a DM deep diver for sure. I see a lot of them.
How do you get through them all? I imagine at this point you get quite a few.
Yeah, I do. There's some like really crazy group chats that I'm in, which
I read an interview recently where you talked about I think you said something to the effect of that you didn't get into music to be a role model, and I know you said your fan base isn't that like majority young, but I feel like you do have a lot of young fans. Do you feel like there is something of an interplay now for you where there's pressure on you to be a role model, or?
I mean, I think anyone in like a public...
Or I imagine probably like, especially for American audiences, they're concerned about you singing about partying. You don't want to be...
Yeah, I guess, yeah, I think I've definitely had like some complaints about like lyrical content or like content that's been on my like video screens and stuff, but I don't really care. They can just listen to other music if they don't like it, you know?
So switching gears a bit, I feel like the narrative right now in your trajectory is very like, you're sort of at the vanguard of this movement of non-traditional album cycles. You've been releasing singles now for the past 2 years. And in my mind, I feel like that really started with the Vroom Vroom EP, was sort of where that took off. I feel like that's one of the most underrated pieces of music in recent memory. I'm still listening to it nonstop. I guess take me through how that came together, because that was also the beginning of your relationship with Sophie and A.G. Cook and Music.
Yeah, you know what? That was definitely the beginning of my relationship with Sophie. A.G. and I actually didn't meet for a while after that. even though he has a production credit on one of the songs on that EP, we didn't really meet and work together. That was something that Sophie kind of sent to him and he did some stuff on. But how Sophie and I met was we were emailing. I somehow got Sophie's email, and at that point in time I was writing a lot in Sweden, and we were putting on these kind of writing camps, which weren't really camps, it was more just like our friends like kind of getting together in like a little box that she makes all of her sounds on. She just set up in this like old office which was downstairs, and like I spent every day that I was in that house, in that room, just making music with Sophie. I like didn't really see anyone else. I was just in there the whole time. It was definitely like really collaborative, but at the same time I just like loved every single thing Sophie did. Like I didn't have any...
I want to touch on the music video for Boys, because so much I feel like has been written about it.
Yeah, that was definitely the main point of the video, and when I was reaching out to all of the boys who were in it, they were all really into it. Like they were all totally open-minded, and they were like, yeah, this is like the perfect thing, like this should have been done ages ago, let's do it. So it was really amazing. They were so up for it.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you were a kind of dessert, what would you be and why? What makes a great party in your mind?
Loads of really good friends.
All time?
Yeah.
Great. Do you have like a specific kind of songwriting process? Do you need to be like in a room with a certain thing?
It's giving me life right now.
Not
wow.
This moment, I guess, you know, in general.
Honestly,
Sure.
thanks for having me. Thanks, yeah.
Because I read your parents took you to them?
Yeah, basically, thanks, yeah.
Because I read your parents took you to them?
Yeah, basically, thanks, yeah.
Because I read your parents took you to them?
Yeah, basically, thanks, yeah.
Because I read your parents took you to them?
Yeah, basically, at that point in time I was writing a lot in Sweden, and we were putting on these kind of writing camps, which weren't really camps, it was more just like our friends like kind of getting together in like a... Yeah, you know what, that was definitely the beginning of my relationship with Sophie. AG and I actually didn't meet for a while after that. Even though he has a production credit on one of the songs on that EP, we didn't really meet and work together. That was something that Sophie kind of sent to him and he did some stuff on. But how Sophie and I met was we were emailing. I somehow got Sophie's email, and